Shortly after President Obama seemed to hedge on his support for allowing the Bush tax cuts to expire for millionaires and billionaires last week, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi made her intentions clear. She won't compromise. Listen to what she said on NPR recently about the tax cuts.
It's too costly. Those tax cuts have been in effect for a very long time. They did not create jobs.
Now Pelosi may have an ally in the Senate, Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley from Oregon. Merkley told the Washington Post today that, quote, our nation can't afford failed trickle-down economic policies that favor the wealthiest among us and leave behind working families. I support an up or down vote on middle-class tax cuts and believe that it would be a huge mistake to repeat the Bush giveaways for millionaires and billionaires, end of quote. On the other side, Republicans seem equally unlikely to compromise their commitment to the billionaires. So with lines drawn in the sand, which direction will the lame duck Congress go on extending these tax cuts, or actually renewing them? Joining me to talk about this issue is Seton Motley, president of lessgovernment.org. Seton, welcome back.
Good to see you. I brought you your own cookies.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
You know the story of the ant and the grasshopper?
I do.
I'm the ant, you're the grasshopper. Enjoy.
Okay, well, thank you.
And they're not from your green room.
Maybe, yeah, well,
yeah.
Very nice. I'm honored. My take on this, roll back the Reagan tax cuts. If we roll back the Reagan tax cuts, we wouldn't have any budget deficits.
We also wouldn't have any economy.
We had a great economy before the Reagan tax cuts. We had four consecutive decades of better than 3% GDP growth.
Jimmy Carter was an economic train wreck.
We haven't had a decade of growth like we had from the 50s until the 80s since Reagan dropped those tax cuts. Even including the bubble during
what color is the sky in your world, Tom? The Jimmy Carter 90%, was it 70 or 90% on the upper income tax rates?
It was 74%.
74%.
Lyndon Johnson said it there.
Crushed the investment of the people who have the money to invest in the economy.
So therefore, from 1933, well, 1945, let's talk about the recovery. From the 1940s until the 1980s, we had no economic activity. Ford, GM, Chrysler, all these companies.
We have economic activity right now. It stinks on ice, but we have activity.
We had, come on, Seton, we had during that 4-decade
Nancy
period,
Pelosi's quote,
91 and 84%.
Nancy Pelosi's quote was so patently absurd that the tax cuts for the rich.
We had the strongest economic growth in the history of this country.
Reagan killed it. Reagan killed it.
Yes, Reagan killed that growth. You're right. The Reagan recession was terrible.
What Reagan?
When during the first in 90. What year, Reagan?
82.
82. You had almost 10%.
He was still wringing out the bad money policies of Jimmy Carter.
Of Volcker.
No, Volcker actually brought it in and he dried up the money. It was a very it was an important thing
Volcker
to do.
Did was Volcker said the Fed is no longer going to be worried about unemployment. We're only going to be worried about inflation.
Instead of looking at history lesson, I think your people want to discuss.
We can talk about that.
Let's discuss the tax rates as they are now. First of all, the Democrats are disingenuous when they say it costs $700 billion. That's over 10 years. That's $70 billion a year. That's 1/12 of what the ridiculous, absurd, non-stimulus bill was.
Why do you want to go to the mat for a 3% tax giveaway to millionaires and billionaires when you're going to have to borrow every penny of it from China to give to those millionaires and billionaires?
It's not a giveaway if it's their money and you're allowing them to keep it.
It's not their money. It's our money that we're borrowing from China to give to them.
Let me see your wallet. I know I didn't do any work for you today.
I don't have my wallet with me.
Well, I don't. You owe me money for the work you did today.
This has got nothing to do with
does.
whether I owe you or you owe me.
Second of all,
you're defending borrowing money from China to give it to billionaires and millionaires.
Two things happen. One, it's $70 billion per year, which we can certainly find a cut in 9 million different places. Second of all, that's static analysis. Static analysis says if you see me winding up to hit you, you're going to stand there and let me hit you. Dynamic analysis says if I wind up, you duck.
Then here's the really easy dynamic analysis. If you want to do away with the deficit, if that's your goal, then
no, my goal is to reduce spending.
Then increase jobs, increase pay.
And how do you do that? You let the people who earn the money keep it so that they continue to earn the money.
And that's what we're proposing to do. That's what we're proposing to do. Take people who earn under $250,000 and give them an extension of their $300 a year tax break.
No, this is absurd because
but
first of all,
millionaires and billionaires, when people are making $1 million, $5 million,
small businesses pay the individual rate.
Fewer than 3% of small businesses will be affected by this tax.
That's bogus.
That is absolutely.
I'm affected by it, and I don't make. I gross more than $250. I net a hell of a lot less than that. I'm affected by this tax increase, and I'm not a big millionaire. This is absurd.
Wonderful. If you're grossing
instead,
let you pay more, your share of the tax. In fact, I think you should be paying your share of the Social Security tax as well.
Believe me, I am, and I paid about 5 other people's shares, too.
What you are arguing, Seton, doesn't make sense.
No, economically, what you're arguing doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
This tax cut was supposed to produce a stimulus. That was the excuse for this tax cut.
Wait a minute. When Bush ran for...
Let me finish my sentence. When Bush passed this tax cut, it was a temporary tax cut to produce a stimulus.
When did he say it was temporary?
And
who said it was temporary?
10 times more jobs were created during the Clinton decade than during the Bush decade.
When Bush ran for unemployment and the media said, when he ran for re-election, and the media said that unemployment was atrocious, what was it? Do you remember?
This isn't the point.
It was under 5. It was under 5.
This was a temporary stimulus.
Who said it was temporary? Who said it was temporary?
Bush did.
Wait a minute.
The Republicans in Congress. It was passed under reconciliation. It was 10 years. It was a stimulus package.
And guess what?
It didn't stimulate.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
He had unemployment below 5%.
Bush's net new job. Yeah, you can create a lot of jobs if you declare a couple of wars and hire a whole bunch of people to send them off.
Well, that's not what happened. Second of all,
any jobs
we lost $1 trillion in wealth.
8 years he was president.
We lost $1 trillion of wealth as a result of 9/11. If you want to hang that on him, that's fine. But I'm not.
Well, yeah, he should have been paying attention. He should have been listening to.
Well, if Al Gore hadn't been,
he should have stopped it.
If Al Gore hadn't been suing him in the overtime
section, to do with that.
Yes, it does. You can't. If you want to hang him with $1 trillion he lost.
He cut the taxes, and it didn't do any good.
Jobs were unemployment was under 5% when he ran for re-election. Under 5%. Obama would kill.
What was it under Clinton before that? I mean, but
the point is, it worked.
Under Clinton, the tax rates, well, it didn't work because under Clinton, the tax rates are 39%, which is what they want to raise it to now.
And I don't want to do that.
Oh, because you don't like Clinton's job.
When is it a good idea? Okay, when is it a good idea to raise taxes in an economy such as this?
Seton, we're flat out of time. Yeah, but good to have you here.
Always a pleasure, Thom. Enjoy the cookies.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.